since I'm out here, I am Kay Lane, and I'm gonna try to give you, what is this? The Real Housewives reunion. Now, if you watch my Yonla video, you know that my phone started overheating because I was out in this hot car, and this car don't have air conditioning, so you just gotta bear with me. But this reunion show really could have been a smooth two-parter, from what I've seen thus far. Or like, the first one could have been an hour and a half, and it could have combined the first two that we've seen thus far. Because did nothing happen last week, did nothing happen this week. Like, for real. If I could access my note, my phone done cooled down enough for me to access my notes. Ain't got good. But let me get in these notes and see what's tea. Come on. Alright, so we get back to Kandi and Porsha. Kandi donated $5,000 to Porsha's little charity when she was on Celebrity Apprentice. That's cute. That's real cute. She said Phaedra also donated, I think she said $10,000. That's so nice. Kandi took that as, I'm donating to help my friend. Porsha took that, or Porsha says she took that as, you help a charity, you just donating to charity. And I'm like, this ain't even Greenleaf. Charity ain't even here. Grace ain't here. Faith is long, because she's, up yonder to be with her Lord. This ain't Greenleaf. She was donating to you, Porsha. But whatever, Porsha, she's all in Porsha land. And Porsha, the thing about Porsha, she's not dumb, but she's susceptible. She is gullible. She is Jacob Greenleaf. Porsha is Jacob Greenleaf, like, to a T, but like finer. No shade to Lamont, but he was a little cuter back before this age weight kind of caught up with him. And it's, he still looks good. He looks good, and he's actually looks like he's slimming down a little bit in the second season. But we're not talking about Greenleaf today. We're talking about Real Housewives. Anyway, we scoot over to a caller called in via Twitter and wrote to Porsha that she thinks that Kenya and Cynthia got what they deserved. Now that she's in anger management, in hindsight is 2020, does she think that they got what they deserved? Porsha says, no, I don't think, because their voice, I don't think they got what they deserved. And I'm sitting here like, Kenya most certainly got it. And I know the Team Squirrel girls are probably out there, and I'm so sorry to say this, and I'm sorry to have to, school bus, you better think. School bus trying to pull out on me. The nerve. But I know the Team Squirrel girls are out there, and it's not because I'm Team Porsha. Again, I told you, if you watched my last one, I told you I'm Team whoever is cute that day. That's my team. And Kenya looks cuter than Porsha on this reunion. No shade, even with the little piece of leave out. Kenya looks cute. I just don't care for Porsha's dress. I don't care for the hair. Remember, her face is too long. I told y'all all this. But Kenya certainly deserved to get something because, and this is why, because Kenya had the megaphone. She had the scepter. Porsha kept saying, don't put that in my face. Stop hollering at me. Leave me alone. Quit. Stop. Don't. And Kenya wouldn't quit. Stop. Don't. And so Porsha got up from her seat and gave Kenya some quit, stop, don't. It's very simple. That my very first transgression in daycare, I was 1 year old, and this boy was pulling my hair, and I told him, quit, stop, don't. Little brother didn't quit, stop, and don't. I bit him. Now, I got rolled up because I wasn't supposed to bite him. But they told my mama when when my mama came to pick me up, the folks at the daycare said, don't whoop her, because she told this little boy, quit, stop, don't. And he wouldn't quit, stop, don't. We had to write up because you ain't supposed to bite the girls, but, don't whoop her because she was within her right. Porsha was within her right to whoop Kenya's behind. She just was. I'm sorry. Now, Cynthia, I didn't watch any of that. But what I do know is that Cynthia got a real hefty kick into Porsha. From what I understand, it wasn't real hefty, but Porsha acted like she, broke her ribs and lost her spleen. So I feel like they are even on that one. But again, I didn't watch that season. Was that even this season? I don't know. I didn't watch it. But I feel like, with hindsight, I feel like Porsha may feel bad for having acting out of character. I know she did, because she started crying after she dragged Kenya from yoga over to yonder. But she told Kenya, quit, stop, don't. And the girls they don't listen. That's a problem I have with the girls. I'm always out here telling the girls, leave me alone. I've got these certain problems that I can't take. And the girls don't leave me alone. And then they shook when my fangs come out. Shook. Because I told you in one of my in my rambling report video, I always have come for in my spirit. Anyway, let me move on. I'm trying to give y'all a little meat because it really wasn't nothing. Let me see. Oh, Porsha said she apologized to Cynthia and Kenya. Cynthia ain't say nothing, so I guess she did apologize. Porsha Kenya said she never received an apology, and they flashed back, and Porsha basically just said, I should not have done that, but she didn't say, I'm sorry that I did that. So I see where both of them are coming from. I see where Porsha feels like she apologized, but I see where she didn't apologize actually, and Kenya doesn't agree that she apologized. So I feel them both on that one. Let me scooch. Come on now. Then Phaedra turns to her and is like, well, apologize so it'll be on the record. Apologize right now. I'm like, Phaedra, you and this legal jargon today are gonna wear me out. She was just, I'm submitting a piece to the court. Well, Andy provoked her to say that, but she was just, and that's hearsay, and you're speaking hearsay, and I'm speaking hearsay, and it's not admissible, and legal jargon. I'm like, who do you think you are? Andre from Empire? You're not. Cut it out. This ain't court, Phaedra. This ain't court. In my Nene, this ain't Phaedra voice to Phaedra. This ain't court. Like, girl, it was really, and I understand that lawyers really a lot of the time can't get out of the mode of being a lawyer, because I grew up around a bunch of them, but chill. Because she was doing that just to be aggy. She was just aggravating Kenya, which is fine. You know, they all aggravate each other, so it's just cool, whatever. Then somebody wrote in and asked, does Phaedra think that the girls bully Porsha? Phaedra said, yes, I do think that the girls bully Porsha from time to time. Excuse me, time to time. I feel like they do bully. Kandi pops up. When did I ever bully? And it's like, I didn't hear her call your name, Kandi. I didn't hear her call your name. And remember now, I don't watch the show. I'm not team nobody. I'm just being subjective in the moment. She ain't call your name. Are you trying to be a hit dog, Holland? Why? I mean, she did not say Kandi at all. And then she clarified and said she was talking about Kenya. But Kandi popped up and she was like, when did I ever? And she was like, okay, I ain't called Kandi's name. I was really talking about Kenya. Kenya had said. And then Kenya's just sitting over there with that little piece of leave out, just, you know, sitting over there. Give me a little slush. It's a warm day. It's a bright, sunshiny day. I'm supposed to be drinking this water. Let me have a swig, even though this is hot. Oh, Jesus. That's hot, Lord. It's gonna help me in the long run. Or the short run, I don't know. Oh, Lord, it's a line. Give me a second. Andy asked Porsha if Cynthia bullies her, which I thought was like, why would you even ask that? But she asked it. His hair, Lord. And Porsha says, not alone. And Cynthia gets defensive. You think I bully you in the group? Because I don't bully you in the group. And it's like, you get a bit of a backbone in a group that you don't normally get by yourself. No shade. No shade. It's just, you know, some girls, I'm one of the girls that, you know, I'll read you by myself, but if I have a friend over here that you've been getting on her nerves too, I read you for me and her. And I feel like Cynthia won't read you for herself, but if you get on her nerves and a friend's nerves, she'll read you for you and her, or try to, because, you know, poor Cynthia, she don't have she don't have comfort really in her spirit. Let's see, we switch over to Kenya and Matt. Kenya is just really it's a sensitive subject. I'm gonna find a way to put this. She is in love with this man to her detriment, to the point where it makes her look absolutely ridiculous on TV and off TV. It just makes her look stupid. And like, we get into hold on, let me get this slush. Oh yes, for the shade. We get into Shereé, and we get into what's mama's name? Mama's name is Shereé. Kenya goes on this little rant and rave about Shereé and how what day is it? I could go visit my grandma down at work. Anyway. This is delicious, by the way. Oh, Lord, it's dripping. And I ain't got no napkin. Help me, Father. Kenya goes on this rant and rave about how she thinks Shereé was... Let me pour a little piece out for my homies. Shereé. Okay, I'm trying to get here. Bear with me. She says that Shereé was making fun of domestic violence, yada, 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 and Shereé didn't see it like that. And Kenya pops up with, you know, it came off like you were mocking it. I mean, not Kenya, Kandi. Look this up. I want to thank the Lord for blue coconut slushes. Kandi pops up with, like, it sounded like, you know, it came off as you were mocking, you know, yada, 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 yada. Just a lot of yada. And Kandi, Jesus, not Kandi, Kenya. I'm having a time trying to get this together because it's hot. Kandi goes all into, you know, you making fun of him, you know, trying to da-da-da-da-da. And okay, here's the deal. Shereé, her whole point was, you acting like you so scared to go on a trip with Porsha because Porsha yanked you by your hair one time when you wouldn't quit, don't stop. But Matt is coming to your house, climbing in your window, snatching your people up, you know, like kicking in your windows, spray painting your cameras and all of this, talking crazy to you, and what else? Putting out that y'all had sex in the car like the other day. And I'm just like, you more scared a little teeny tiny Porsha that if push comes to shove, you could really mollywop her. You more scared of her. Well, I don't know, the little ones can be scrappy. But Porsha, she's so sensitive and so hard on her sleeve that you could probably whip Porsha. But you're so worried about little bitty Porsha, but you're not worried about big old gigantic huge Mac. And that's all Shereé was saying, was that you need to be worried about your situation with this boy. Kenya and Kandi took it apparently as you mocking domestic violence, and as someone who, you know, her ex-man used to whoop on her, you probably shouldn't da-da-da-da-da. It was stupid, and it was just a moment of Kenya trying to have a reason to be upset. That's it. To me, again, my opinion. But it was dumb. And then we slide over, let me get over to Shereé, talking about Bob and how he beat on her. Basically, I don't mean to chuckle, but how, you know, he hit her and was verbally abusive and discussing, like, you know, the only reason I didn't want your plane to crash, he said this to Shereé and when Shereé and her mom were taking a trip, the only reason I'm not praying for your plane to crash is because your mama's on it, stuff like that. And that will tear you down faster than any slap. I mean, not faster, harder. It'll tear you down harder. When you live with somebody who talks crazy to you nonstop, that will destroy you. I'm so surprised that Shereé is who she is at this moment, because it takes a very strong person. Now, I hope she knows this. It takes a very strong person to endure verbal abuse like she's been endured, like she has endured it. Okay, my stuff on the fall and all of this. It's a lot. It takes a very strong person to endure the type of verbal. I mean, I hope the plane crash. That kind of stuff. That's and I obviously didn't choke you hard enough. That kind of thing is crazy. That's, you know, capital crazy. That's ridiculously crazy. I need to find some shade. Ain't no shade out in these streets. But yeah, that's insane to say to somebody. Ooh, excuse me. Hold on. To say that to somebody is just it's unnecessary. And if you feel so strongly about it, if you feel that way, break up. Why you got to do that? And I hope she knows how strong she is to be still kicking, still reading, you know, because that'll take your read. Probably not mine, because my read is ingrained severely. Is the roof falling? What a tragedy. You move out the neighborhood and the neighborhood starts falling apart. I feel away because, again, if you watch my How to Be a Failure video, you know that my home was snatched from me. And I'm sitting here looking at it right now. And I don't care for it, but came to see my granny. But let me see. Whatever. Shereé, you could see the Shereé was in a zone. All the time they were talking about domestic abuse, Shereé was zoned out. Which lets you know. And if you couldn't tell by just her reaction, you know, prior to just any of her reactions to any of this, you could tell that she is still affected by this. So I'm sure it hurt her to hear Kenya and Kandi second that she was mocking domestic violence. I'm sure that hurt her. I'm gonna find me a shady meadow. I was recording on my iPad, and then she gave up on me. She got overheated. So let me get over to some shade. But Kenya is hollering at Shereé, telling her that a woman is never responsible for a man being aggressive towards her. Now, this is my humble nigga opinion, but that's a lie. That's a lie. A capital lie. A big lie. Because I could walk up to a man right now, a man I don't know, slap him dead in his face. If he slapped me back, that's my fault. And I'm not saying that he's right to slap me back, but I wasn't right to slap him in the first place. And we've already established that Kenya is a provoker. We already got that. We know that. Not saying that she provoked him you know, to violence with violence. She wasn't probably around there slapping him and all of that. But we know Kenya is prone to make people want to fight her. We know this. So the statement that a woman is never responsible for a man being aggressive towards her is wrong. That's just plumb wrong. Because if I walk up to some man's mama and push her down the stairs, if he cold cocks me in my face, that was my fault for pushing his mama down the stairs. I didn't even touch him directly, but I pushed his mama down the stairs. And so he, I mean, even though you're not supposed to punch a woman, within your rights to push this woman who pushed your mama down the stairs. And Kenya is a verbal abuser. No shade. You know, she just has her mom. And really, all the girls can be verbally abusive and manipulative. Aside from, like, Cynthia, and I can't really think of an instance where Kandi was verbally abusive. But Porsha, even though, Phaedra, even though Porsha says she doesn't feel like she's being controlled, Phaedra is manipulating the hell out of Porsha. And she's, you know, manipulating everything around her. Phaedra is a master manipulator. She's manipulating every little piece of every little thing around her. That can be deemed abuse. If you are manipulating someone to the point where they don't even have their own thoughts and emotions and feelings, and they're so worried about what Phaedra's doing, that's not healthy. Porsha, you know, Portia's been known to run after the girls, mollywopping the girls and all of this. And now these new Phaedra Parks truths that she's out here telling, that's abusive towards Kandi. Because if Kandi did not say anything about drugging her and taking her to a sex dungeon, that's defamation and that's abuse. I'm sorry. It just is. Oh, look, it's one of the saints. I hope I don't have to speak. No shade. I just don't like to speak. But yeah. What's her name, Lord? Kenya provokes people verbally, via verbal abuse, and taunting physically with the scepter and with the megaphone all in Portia's face. That's abusive. That's trying to make somebody do something out of their character, not, you know, along the lines of something that somebody wants to do. To me, that's abuse. I'm sorry. It just is. What else? Because I can't get my notes right now because my iPad is overheating. So I'm trying to think off the dome of what else happened. I'm going to have to pause it and come right back because I can't think of nothing. I'm back. So, Kenya, somebody asked her why she hired Matt. She said she didn't. Then I believe Andy asked her, you know, why you can put up with Matt, but you can't put up with Porsha, which is exactly what Shereé was trying to ask, but that was deemed mocking abuse. Look at this glisten. I can't. It's too much. It was cold last night and the night before. I had a jacket on. Now I'm out here just moist. I cannot deal with this. Anyway, Kenya goes into, I can put up with Matt and tolerate Matt because I have love for him, and me and Porsha were never friends, and da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, all right, cool love for him. Y'all was never friends. That sounds real good. Then she swoops into, you know, Andy asks her, when's the last time you talked to Matt? Well, he messaged me on New Year's from a new number because he's blocked from speaking to me on, you know, all communication fronts, all social media and all of that. And he messaged me and he said that he was going to church and da-da-da-da-da. And I said, good for you. And then he asked her something else. And she follows up with, I haven't thought about Matt since Thanksgiving. Kenya, sweetness, rock with me on this. Follow me. Anybody that I have love for, I'm going to think about them at least once a month. at the leastest. Now, I don't have love for a lot of folks. There's a lot of the girls out here that I just do not have love for. I just don't. There's about 2 or 3 people at the moment that I do. My girl Aja, my girl Jimmy, my auntie Kim, you know, like people that I know care about me. I vibe with them. I got love for them. I'm not going to just not think about them. Your story is not coming together for the glory and honor of our Lord Jesus Christ, amen. Your story is, I put up with Matt because I have love for him. She said that present tense, meaning, you know, a month ago or so when they recorded this reunion, she had love for him on that day. But she ain't thought about him since Thanksgiving. Don't come together. It just doesn't come together. And then she goes into, I'm embarrassed because, you know, all the women out there, all the little girls, I set a bad example and you need to leave at the first sign of abuse. And all of that is true. That's very true. But the thing is, you with your words. If there was a little girl out there like me that listens with, as a young to say, I listen with my nipples. I listen with every part of me. I hear what people are saying. I hear what people are trying to say. And a lot of times, most of the time, that does not come together. Folks are not saying what they're trying to say. Kenya was trying to say, I ain't thinking about you. I ain't thinking about middle finger. What if I really sounded like that when I sang? It's tragic. Middle fingers up. That's high. Middle fingers up. Put them hands out. Wave it in his face. That's low. Tell him, boy. Okay. Anyway, the point is, Kenya was trying to give off a I'm not thinking about him vibe, but simultaneously saying that I love him. And so it just didn't come together for me. I'm really freestyling because my iPad is cool enough for me to get to these notes. I'm sure ain't nobody gonna watch this video because it's a mess. Let me get over here. They briefly talk about Mama Joyce while I'm trying to find these notes. Kandi admits that Mama Joyce should not have popped down to the lawyer's office to find out what's going on with Phaedra and her foolishness. And we all agree. We all say amen. And that's that. But my thing is, and I thought this a long time ago, because I used to watch, or I do currently, it's just not in season right now, I watch other reviewers reviews of the show. I don't watch the show, but I watch the reviews. So, and I'll be watching Lady Nika, I'll be watching James Caldwell, I'll be watching, Ashley Miller, I'll be watching, does Rox do one? I know she's doing Potomac. Did she do the Atlanta Girls? I got conditioner running all down my back. Just a lot going on out here today. Anyway, but I'll be watching the reviews, and the whole time, the drama with Kandi and Porsha was going on. And this is what makes it sketchy for me, is Mama Joyce didn't pop up no time. Mama Joyce didn't pop down to Porsha's home. Mama Joyce didn't say, from what I understand, because again, I didn't watch it, but I didn't hear nobody report that Mama Joyce was just so shook about Porsha telling these blatant lies on her daughter. Now, I'm not saying anything at all. I'm not saying that Kandi, has a proclivity to drug the girls and bring them to a sex dungeon. Because I really do feel like if Kandi had a sex dungeon, she would be broadcasting live from the dungeon, every other weekend. Because that's just a part of her brand. She's just, one of the sex girls. But the thing is, why is Mama Joyce popping up to find out what's going on with Phaedra and her man? Not Phaedra and Kandi, Phaedra and her man. But when Porsha and Kandi have real, true beef, Porsha is out here telling, Phaedra Park's truths from what we understand. Mama Joyce ain't popping up. I don't know what it means, but I don't like it. I don't like that Mama Joyce is popping up for one girl to find out what's going on between, one of your daughter's enemies and her husband, and not finding out what's going on between your daughter and one of her enemies. That didn't make sense to me. I didn't care for it. Phaedra, we get over to Phaedra, the elusive chanteuse, and that Phaedra gives a very generic, very much something Kayla would say answer, because I'm a lot like Phaedra. I don't tell lies, I just don't tell my business. So Andy was like, basically giving Oprah Winfrey, so what's the truth? And Phaedra was like, none of the girls are entitled to my business. You know a little portion of my business because we're good Judies, but these girls aren't entitled to know my tea. And I'm sitting here like, well, you on reality TV, so you should give us a little piece of reality, but I feel you don't. Like, I understand what you mean. Anyway, this is when she submits evidence to the court discussing the divorce. It's still all up in the air and in the clouds. We don't know what's going on. She hasn't told the boys that she and their father have gotten divorced, or are in the process of getting divorced, or are not divorced at all. She ain't told the boys, and I'm just like, you probably should. I feel like your children need to know that their parents not married, but whatever though. Somebody says something about Phaedra dating, and Phaedra alludes to dating Shamar Moore, and Shamar Moore is not cute to me. He's handsome, but he's not like, ooh, let me get some of that Shamar Moore. And again, this is probably because I was born in '94 and Shamar was already popping and on his way towards old. No shade, but they looked appropriate together. That's all I'm gonna say. They looked appropriate together, but I don't think it's I think it's a Phaedra Park's truth. Then she shades old lady gang because Kandi says something, and then she's like, you need to be worried about when your mama needs to be investigating, when old lady gang is gonna open. And then Kandi goes into, it's opening this week, and it is open. So Oh, Jesus. Wasps are following me everywhere. I can't. Oh, Jesus. It tried to fly into my face. Thank God for windows. At least I'm in the shade. I'm so sorry. These videos are all over the place. I'm in a whole nother city. I done drove to a whole nother city. And the wasps still are trying me. What else? Kenya, when Phaedra enters evidence to the court about this divorce, Kenya goes into, they're not divorced, and he's still, and Apollo, and da-da-da-da. And Phaedra, much like myself, sitting at home watching the TV, was like, why are you so invested in this nigga's marriage? For why? If you don't want that nigga, and you all, I've been vindicated, and he did say he lied and all of this and that and the other. But if you don't want this nigga, why is you all in this man's Kool-Aid about being married? Why is everybody, and see, this is why I don't hate Phaedra. Because everybody wants to be in her and Apollo's tea. Everybody wants to be in her and Chocolate's tea. It's like, as far as these reality shows go, the girls show you what they want to show you. Phaedra don't want to show you Chocolate. Phaedra don't want to tell you too much about Apollo. She says enough because it's in the blogs, you know, but she don't want to tell y'all. She don't want to talk to you about none of this. Leave it. Leave it. But whatever. And then, you know, Phaedra says something and Kenya goes into, yes, for the rehearsed reason, shakes her titties. And I'm sitting here like, Kenya, now mama, Kenya, please don't act like you don't pump it down to Lips ATL every weekend and get retired queens to give you tired reads. Now, let's not act like, come on, don't do that. Kenya really tried to sit up there and say that the girls are rehearsing their reads. Like, Kenya don't sit in the mirror all the time and do this. So when she get on TV, she can, Kenya, now, if I wasn't sitting on church grounds, I'd have had a word for you, but God blocked it. He wouldn't let it be so. But Kenya says, let's not act like we're not pumping it down to, you know, and you're not even pumping it down. You're not even going to the balls. You having the ball girls, the ballroom queens, come to your spot and tell you what they told somebody else, and then you take it, and then it's just your. And another thing, the girls will not be adding true tea to their little repertoires now. Talking about, oh yeah, Porsha said true tea on the last episode, and that's sickening, and I'm just gonna take it. Porsha didn't come up with that. The girls have been saying true tea since tea was true. I'd be so aggravated. I'd be so pissed with the girls trying to really come up on the gay slang. But they don't. The thing about it is, these are people who do not have gay friends aside from their hairstylist. Your hairstylist is your gay friend, so you feel like you can say, oh, shade, reading, clocked tea. I'll be so tired of it. I'll be so tired of it. I'll be so drained. And it's not like, okay, so you want to immerse yourself in the culture, but you don't watch Paris is Burning, or you watch it one too many times, and you come up with, you want to talk about reading? Let's talk about reading. What's the matter, Pedro? Are you going through it? You look like an overgrown orangutan. Like, you watch Paris is Burning one too many times, and then you giving, shade comes from reading. Reading came first. Reading is the true art form of drag. And it's like, yes, all of this is actual and factual, Dory and Corey told you. But the thing is, you don't care about the girls' lives. I'd be so pissed. I'd be so mad. I pump it down to the church. And the church girls like, oh, shade, lies. And they're like, I got that from Tamar. Tamar stole these things directly from the girls. Tamar took the things directly from Kevin and Mikhail right on YouTube. Go over to Kevin and Mikhail, and they saying you tried it, and shade and lies and you know, the things that the girls are saying. Tamar was hanging out with them. She snatched all that lingo, put it on TV, and now the church girls are out here talking about shade and lies and then rebuking the homosexuals. Sis, you sound like one. I done went off. I done went off. I'm sorry. Like I said, I always have come forth. Right, just right. It's just right here. Just right at the tippy top of my heart. It's just right there. And whenever, then I'm ready. Let me see. Noelle gives Normani looks. You know, she looks a lot like she could have been Normani from Fifth Harmony. Is it Normani or Normani? I don't know exactly how to pronounce it, but she looks like she could have been that baby's sister. Real cute little girl. Real cute. Then Andy says, well, since your son been to jail, do you feel like you owe Nene an apology? And she says, yes, I do. But again, doesn't say I'm sorry. And she's like, you know, they're kids and they should be off limits because they do things, no matter how you raise them, they do things that you don't even, yeah, yada, yada, yada. Kandi says Riley was so excited about putting out Better Late Than Never. Even though you missed my birthday, forgiving you forever. I have never listened to the song, but just the little clip I heard on Instagram was just, it was life-changing. And Nicki Minaj tweeted her and she was happy that she was, you know, living for it. So good for Riley. Cynthia came out to Noelle as a lesbian. Which, if Noelle is anything like me, Noelle already clocked her mama's T's back in the day. But, because honey, it's so many of the girls out here that I've clocked way forever ago. I clocked the girls a long time ago, but whatever. Bob is the devil, and Shereé cries about Bob being the devil. And then, says she's never talked to her kids about, any of the abuse or any of that. Yeah, that's it. It was a lot, but that was it. Peace. Oh, like, comment, subscribe, all that. Comment in the descriptions. Matea's GoFundMe, my information. I got a new Instagram specifically for rambling reviews and all that it entails, all of that. So just hit me up.